Yeah, Ronak,
Yes, sir.
Vidhi, what is your undergraduate?
BTech,
BTech in
Electrical and Electronics.
electrical and electronics. And Ronak, yours?
Electronics and communication.
Great. And Vidhi, what has been your job profile?
I'm working in Deloitte as a consultant for the past 2 years.
What's your main job?
Uh, Mainly technical consulting in supply chain.
Okay,
But we don't really work with supply chain, we do automation of supply chain.
okay, fine. So Ronak, you
Yeah.
can ask questions to Vidhi from electronics.
Yes, sir. Like during the interview or right now?
Yeah, we are starting. The interview is on.
Okay, okay, yeah. Oh, okay. Um,
Yeah, Ronak, please start.
okay. Yeah. So, can you explain the difference between AC and DC?
Uh,
Uh, yes.
okay, so alternating current and direct current are basically uh, two types of electric current that differ in the direction of flow. So direct current has a constant direction, and alternate current changes direction basically periodically.
Um, okay. Can you explain Kirchhoff's law?
It's been a while. I don't clearly remember Kirchhoff's law, but yeah, it had something to do with the flow of current in a circuit, and yeah, it was basically used to uh, calculate the voltage and current of a electric circuit.
Um, uh,
What is a
uh,
solenoid? Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, what is a solenoid?
Yeah, solenoid is an uh, uh, it's I think it's a coil wrapped around a magnet that generates a magnetic field around it.
Where do you use it?
Where do you?
In what machine or equipment do we use a solenoid?
I think in cars, solenoids can be used.
For what purpose?
Not really sure, but I
Hmm.
think in the engine, it can be used.
What has been your biggest achievement in job?
I think in my job, so it's been around 2 years I've been working, but I started in Deloitte like as an intern as well while I was in my last semester of college. And in so between 11 interns, only three of us were selected to join a very big project when we converted it into a placement. And I was one of them. And it's been 2 years I've been working with a super account in Deloitte. And I've been given uh, recognition from the project director also in my first year of working itself. And not only this, I've also been promoted last year, which is considered a big achievement in such a big firm, considering I've only been here for 2 years. So I think I would consider this as my biggest achievement because my goal here in the company was also to uh, increase optimization and efficiency of the team and moving forward create assets that would could be used by the company and streamline processes better, uh, so leading to cost saving and increasing efficiency.
Uh, how many times is your salary now as compared to when you joined full time?
Currently it's almost 30% more than what it was when I joined.
So you have been working for 2 years,
Yes.
and 30% increase after a promotion in 2 years. This is adequate in your industry.
So actually, so there was an issue in the first year. We joined after the first quarter had finished for the financial year, which is why, according to the company's policy, everyone was given a default rating, and it did not really depend on performance as such, and which is why, and plus the bottom line of the company wasn't too great as well. So that was a company trend which we couldn't really help, but I feel I was compensated fairly after the promotion.
So the people who joined along with you, how many times their salary has grown in 2 years?
Uh, so only so just two or three of us got promoted in the past 2 years. Rest everyone got a I'm not sure about the percentage exactly, but the first year everyone got the same hike, even if they were on bench or on a project. So, and this year too, it was less than or around 10%, so not much.
So what are your hobbies?
Uh, I enjoy uh, any kind of outdoor activities, sports, and things like that. And I've I also developed a flower arrangement hobby back in school, and um, uh,
Yeah,
yeah, and I've been into dancing and cooking sometimes at home. And art and craft has also used to be one of my hobbies, but lately I've lost touch with that due to time constraints.
dancing is like proper training or casual.
Yeah, I was trained in Bharatanatyam for over 10 years, and uh, yeah, I used to dance during my school days as well in shows and competitions, and then in college I joined my college dance group as well.
Yeah, it's an open house now. Anybody can ask questions. Yes, Ronak, Ayushi, Manya, Harshita.
Uh, is there any current news that you've been following?
Uh, I was following uh, the resignation of Trudeau and also a bit about the elections and Trump taking office. Yeah.
Okay. Can you name some of the major policy changes that Trump passed as executive order when he took office?
Yeah. So, so his policy about the child being born in no citizenship to immigrants' children born in the US, which was uh, one of the first executive orders that he passed, and then it was contested in court by a few states. It was something which was very bizarre, and about the LGBTQ community, where he just clearly stated there are only two genders, which was also a little questionable. But yeah, these I think are a few that I remember clearly.
Why do you want to join SPGen?
Um, Primarily because comparing it with other top colleges, there are quite a few in India. My personal preference is to go for a college like SPGen, which has a cohort which is quite diverse and uh, primarily mostly consists of students coming with some sort of work experience, and that I think would help me enrich my knowledge as well, uh, mingling with a crowd coming from a similar background as me. And uh, of course, SPGen is a very prestigious college with a great faculty, and the kind of course experience it gives is also quite great with respect to hands-on practical knowledge from the faculty coming from a multitude of diverse backgrounds.
Which
Can
course
you
did
can you
you?
sorry sorry one. Can you name any of the colleges from which our faculties have done their PhD?
Faculty has done PhD.
You
I
said now we have
I think yeah, I think faculty from ISB and uh, IM Ahmedabad, IM Bangalore, these colleges usually have faculty who've done their PhD or coming from prestigious institutes from abroad to come and teach in such your institutes.
okay. Manya, what were you saying?
Uh, which course did you apply to and why did you apply to that course? I was asking.
Okay, so I applied for a specialization in supply chain and operations. Uh, I am really interested in this field, but I don't know much about it, which is why I was intrigued to opt for this course. Uh, I have a sort of background. I got a taste of it back in college where I took my minor specialization in business management. So I got a chance to explore the business side of things a bit. But when I joined Deloitte, I was also working with the supply chain automation of a giant pharmaceutical company, which also gave me an idea of how things work. But since we do automation and things like that, we don't really explore the supply chain aspect of things as much, which is why I wanted to delve deeper and get a better knowledge about how this part of the business works, along with the technical knowledge that I already possess.
What are the latest advances in the field of supply chain management and how has digitalization affected this field?
Okay. So supply chain in general is considered a very monotonous uh, thing, but I think in the recent past there have been a lot of changes here with the entry of digitalization and a lot of things uh, being automated. So, like in my job as well, uh, our goal is basically FTE reduction and increased efficiency and optimization, leading to increased cost saving. So, we have tried to automate manual tasks, which usually supply a very big part of supply chain is SAP and other ERP platforms, which usually have uh, a lot of monotonous tasks, which would include manual data entry and invoice generation and things like that, which we have tried to mitigate by placing a robot to do such things. So these things make supply chain more digitalized and automated, reducing the effort that was required in the beginning. So there's a lot of scope over here for things to become more digitalized even further.
Have you heard of economic order quantity?
No, I'm not really sure about that.
And have you heard of PERT and CPM?
Sorry.
PERT, PERT, Performance Evaluation Review Technique,
No, I have not.
Critical Path Method,
No, no, sir.
Assignment and transportation.
Uh, mm, no, we've not uh, really dealt with these aspects. And no, coming from a technical background, I'm not very sure about these technical aspects of the supply chain.
Okay, so you said you have been working on the supply chain of a big pharma company, right?
Right.
So for how
So,
long you have been on this project?
I've been on this current one for a year. Before that, I was working on some other project. But our main, so we primarily deal with everything that is digital and everything that is online. So our work is to uh, automate manual repetitive tasks that deal with everything that is in the computer and
So
not outside.
what was the most difficult thing that you transformed from manual to computer?
Um, so usually with so we had this one project where um, you get uh, receipts from multiple vendors, and all of these receipts have different formats and different uh, different parameters, right? So we have been able to collect all of these and standardize them and made them so that everything is put in a standardized format. So irrespective of the language or the format or any of those limitations, we could put all of this into a format to process it further. This was a little difficult considering uh, the vast amount of variables that come into play when you deal with such things.
So so how did you do it? I mean, you have a software which your vendors log into and do the data entry, or how is it?
No, so basically we receive all these receipts and we have our tools on. So we use certain softwares for automation which detect uh, so we basically keep a configurable file where we keep all the variables that could possibly appear, and also uh, OCR basically it detects whatever the fields that we need. It picks up those fields, converts it through the configuration file, and puts it in a standardized format that we have already assigned to it. So we have multiple applications that come into play, and we code things as well. So it's it picks up things from one platform, puts it through another number of platforms, and gives us a report.
If I gave you 10 crore rupees today, will you still want to do an MBA?
Yes, yes, 100% yes. I would want to do an MBA because uh, otherwise I wouldn't know how to use those 10 crore rupees. And I mean, it's almost like giving a beggar a golden bowl and the beggar not knowing what to do about it and still begging. So, yeah, the 10 crore rupees would ultimately could also have the potential to make me bankrupt, just like multiple KBC participants who'd won uh, so much money. So I would not know how to use it unless I do an MBA or something similar.
So anybody who makes a lot of money, he has to do an MBA.
No, no, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying uh, we should know how to use our resources, and whatever helps us do that, we should always strive to learn more. And even if it's not going to bear us any fruit, I think it's always better to have some sort of knowledge in um, every aspect.
Okay. After 10 years, okay, let's say at the age
Yeah.
of 35, 38, something like that. If you
Mm,
have a lot of money because you've worked hard, you have your
mm,
car, you have your house, you have enough money to pay your kids' school fees and everything, then what is it
mm.
you would actually like to do with your life?
Ideally, my dream is to travel the world, and I don't think you can buy any. I mean, you can buy everything in this world, but you cannot buy experiences, and which is what I want to do eventually. So, if I have everything, I would love to just travel and experience different cultures and just, yeah, explore.
So which are the two countries or two places in your bucket list?
Currently, I think uh, Japan would be one of them, and Italy would be one of them. Primarily because, I mean, these are two very different countries, but Japan primarily because of the culture and how everything is just so organized there. I want to experience that sort of a life. And Italy would be primarily because it's a very relaxed country and very, very beautiful. So, yeah.
Anything else you want to tell us?
Um, I just want to underline that at this point, it was my decision to wait for 2 years before I could do an MBA because I strongly believe I should know what I'm getting into. And my work experience has given me that confidence that I am ready to do an MBA now, and which is why I think it is the right time and decision for me uh, to go for an MBA, and I would be glad if I'm considered.
Okay. Thank you very much. All the best to you.
Thank you.
Anybody else has any questions to ask Vidhi? Then give your feedback. Yeah, Harshita, how did you find Vidhi?
So I think the interview went well. She was very fluent. At times, I felt that the answers were a little too verbose, but apart from that, I think it went well.
Rona?
Yeah, so the initial thing with the obviously the graduation questions was a little this thing, but I don't think I would have been able to answer them without preparation either. But other than those questions, I think it went well, and like I think this one felt more like a conversation as we were discussing earlier. Like one topic was leading to the other, like there were one or two gaps, but other than that, it was flowing like a conversation.
Um, yeah, I think it was pretty decent apart from the academic part. About your achievements on the job, you should be able to explain it better, I think. So all of you try to de-jargonize whatever achievements you have on the job and try to tell it in simple terms that what you did and how it helped the company. These are the main things. That if you have done something, how did it help your company? How did it help your company in smoothening the process, shortening the process, or in terms of saving? That should be very clear to you that if I have done something which is being considered by the company to be something good, then what is the cost saving that the company made? What is the time saving? What is the effort saving that was made? That should be clear. Apart from that, I think it was good. But why did you talk about your Bharatnatyam which you have learned for 10 years? You're talking of flower arrangement, art and craft, outdoor activities. The main thing is for 10 years you have learned Bharatnatyam. You didn't mention that.
Uh, Yeah, I had written it, I've written it across my essays so many times that I felt if I mention it much a lot, it'll seem like I'm just talking about that.
No, no, no.
But I
Please,
think I should
please,
mention it.
please
Yeah.
understand. See, this is a very common mistake that candidates make. If you're going for 5 or 6 interviews, okay, I'm not talking of the mock, I'm talking of actual interviews. You have to repeat the
Mhm.
same thing there also. So we are rehearsing
Okay.
that. So
Okay. Okay.
I have delivered this dialogue in the rehearsal, so I won't deliver this dialogue in the main play. That is not how it works.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay. Yeah.
because each interview is different, interviewers are different, they don't know anything about you, they are least interested in reading about what you have written in the forms. So if you can avoid that, that's the best thing for you. If they don't have
Okay,
to look
okay,
at your form and you keep the conversation going and they find it interesting, then that's the best thing for you. At the same time, you should not let go of your guard. It's a formal thing. Interview is always a formal thing. So you should never be casual in interview. They try to make you very casual sometimes. So don't get casual. Be very
okay,
focused
okay.
that your purpose in the interview is to convert the call. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You are
Yeah,
not there to be friends with whoever is interviewing you.
yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So you have to tell them everything about yourself. And somehow your non-verbal should say that I want this seat. Whether you even if you
Okay,
don't want a seat in a particular institute, you're just going for the experience, then also. So that at least you convert and you get the confidence that you can convert.
okay, okay.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. And one more thing, about the technical aspect of my work experience. I mean, I am not sure how much of jargon can I put if it's a little more technical. So that's why I was a little hesitant in talking about it because I didn't know how to put it across.
No, you put it across. Initially, you put it across as you would to anybody. But if they
Hmm.
ask you to uh, talk about it in layman terms, then you have to teach argument.
Okay,
So you
okay.
can just give example that this is the format of the receipt. So somebody gives this kind of receipt, somebody else gives this kind of receipt. So what a
Hmm.
program did was take out all the details on the receipt and put it in a common format and present that format to whichever department or whatever it is.
Okay, okay. Good.
What else? Anything else?
One small thing. In the middle, I realized that matlab, I was being a little casual, but I mean,
Yeah, I think you started laughing or something. No.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So yeah, that I realized that I shouldn't do, but this setting was such. But uh, I I think in my headspace, I was also coming from this key. I should look like I am comfortable. Uh, while also being sound professional, right? That is how it should be.
You should be comfortable, but the eagerness should never go. The
Hmm.
little bit of uh, nervousness should always be there. See, if you watch any contest on television, no,
Hmm.
you'll find that most often than not, the person who is tipped to be the winner, he loses in the end, he or she.
Hmm.
And you find that the person who was, uh, what do you call it?
Underdog?
Who underdog, right? The underdog wins somehow, because the underdog has this fire in him or her, in the eyes, the seriousness with which they approach the whole thing. You find it in many of the
Hmm.
competitions that from the beginning, one person is leading for 2 months, 3 months, and then when the finals are close by, they somehow lag because they become overconfident. They start thinking of themselves as stars already, but the person who is second or third, they are seeing that I'm not going to win. So they start their aggression, their eagerness to win, all that shows in their non-verbals, and they're not overconfident when they talk to the judges or the audience. So then the audience shifts. So that thing has to be there. That thing has to be there in your interview. If you
Hmm.
get too
Okay.
comfortable, you are out.
Hmm. Yeah, got it.
You find that in most situations when you are see when they say no, get out of your comfort zone. One of the things they mean is this also. I mean, I'm taking it too literally, but getting out of your comfort zone is this thing only, that you try something else. Uh, don't get too overconfident. That's what coming out of comfort zone means.
Hmm.
That when even if you're, they say that you have to row harder to be in the same place.
Hmm.
So that's what it means. That you may be very successful, but then you'll have to strive harder. You've seen one Shah Rukh Khan interview probably on Anupam Kher's show. इन that आगे आने के लिए बहुत लोग मेहनत करते हैं, आगे आने के बाद जो मेहनत मैं किया हूँ वो कोई नहीं कर सकता
Mm-hmm.
ना. So that is what.
Yeah.
So
Mm.
so that casualness should never be there in the interview.
Yeah, yeah, that I realized. I think this is a very comfortable environment, which is why it was coming out. But I think I'll next time make sure it's proper.
Yeah.
Mm.
See, one of the other reasons that you are feeling comfortable is because the others are not asking too many questions. Otherwise, usually the peers ask the most difficult questions.
Mm.
So if they would start asking you more difficult questions, then you will understand that it's really difficult.
Mhm. Mm. Oh, and one more thing, sir. If if I don't know the answer, okay, I just don't know the answer. I can't even make up anything. So should I just say, uh, how should I reply then in that case?
If you don't know anything about a topic or a question, then just say, sir, I don't know about it. I have read about it, but I've forgotten. I'll brush it up or I'll check it later. But if you know a
Okay.
little bit about it, something, and you don't want to be grilled on that, then you say, sir, this is something which I have read, but I am not having in-depth knowledge about it. So
Hmm.
still, I would like to answer it to the best of my ability, and then say whatever you know. But if you know something, then don't say I don't know.
That is sure.
A
Yeah.
little bit about
Okay.
the topic, don't say I don't know anything. Just say, just
Hmm.
qualify it by saying that I'm not an expert on this topic or I've forgotten about it because I
Hmm.
read it 3 years back or 4 years back or whatever. But still, I'd love to
Okay.
try answer it to the best of my ability and then say,
Hmm. Hmm. Okay.
what else? That's okay.
Yeah.
So tomorrow the class will be at 7:30. Okay. Will all of you be able
Okay.
to attend it?
Yeah, I can attend.
Sir,
Turn
I
up
might
Yes, sir,
not
I can.
be able to attend.
because Ayush cannot attend this 8:45 class. So I have two classes at 7:30 also.
Oh, okay, sir.
But
I think I have meetings. Yeah.
in any case, if you want anything urgent, if you have, then just give me a call.
Yeah, sure, sir. Sure.
Okay. Thank you. Good night.
Thank you. Good night.
Thank you.
So,